This will be a quick review on a product that I use quite a bit, and that is a hanging digital scale. This is one from Feedback Sports. It is the Alpine scale, and you've probably seen me use this in a number of my videos. Mine recently gave up the ghost, and so I'm replacing it with another one. And by the way, I live in a very humid environment, and I keep mine in the garage, which may explain why it stopped working after 6 or 7 years. So I'll probably keep this one inside from now on. Now this is more of a macro scale. It goes up to 55 pounds or 25 kilograms. I use this for weighing bikes and forks and seat posts and things like that. If you're wanting to measure smaller components, for example, how much one tube weighs versus another, you're probably going to want to look more at a tabletop digital scale like the Park DS2. Now let's get this one open and I'll show you some features on it. The scale takes 4 AAA batteries, and it does come with batteries, which is nice. And I like the battery door on this one. My old one had 4 tiny screws that you had to take out. This one just has a little latch at the top. And so let's put in the batteries and we'll take a look at it. So to turn the scale on, you just tap the on-off button here on the left and it'll zero out. And then it's got a 0 button in the middle. And if you wanted to, for example, hang up a basket and put components in, you could put the basket on, hit 0, and that way you're not weighing the basket, you're only weighing what's in the basket. And then on the far right is your mode button, and it's got 3 modes. I usually use the pounds, and so if I'm weighing something that's 5.5 pounds, it'll show up 5.5 here. The next mode over is pounds and ounces. So in that example, something that's 5.5 pounds would show up here as 5 pounds, 8 ounces. And then you've got kilograms. And you've got 3 decimal points here, so you really can use this for grams. So put some pressure on here. So for example, if something was 0.38 kilograms, that would be 380 grams. This scale is designed to either hang up and weigh, or the way I use it most is I clamp it in my bike work stand. And then I just hang something from the hook. So let's hang up a bike and we'll see how it works. Alright, so with it clamped in my work stand, I'll just hit the on-off button. And then I'll put it in the mode that I want. And that's pounds with a decimal. And then let's hang up the bike and see how much it weighs. Alright, my cross-country bike right now is at 24.1 pounds. So just as an example, I'll change the mode. So that's 24.1 pounds, which is 24 pounds, 2 ounces, or 10.93 kilograms, or 10,930 grams. And by the way, what I do for measuring smaller things that don't hang easily, such as this Thompson seat post, I just put it in a plastic grocery bag which weighs absolutely nothing. And then I'll just drop it in there and see how much it weighs. So a Thompson Elite mountain bike seat post weighs 0.55 pounds, or something like this, I'd probably look more at grams. So that's 0.25 kilograms or 250 grams. A couple things to mention as I wrap up this review is I've noticed that the rubber, you've got to be careful. You don't want to put a lot of sharp things on this rubber. It can kind of cut into the rubber, and after time it can wear down the rubber. So you just want to be sure that you don't, again, put sharp things on it. When I weigh a bike, I usually hang it by the saddle. That tends to be the best neutral place to weigh a bike. As far as battery life, I think I've changed the battery in this scale maybe once over a period of 3 years, so the batteries last a long time. I'll probably use the scale once or twice a week, if that, but battery life is not really an issue. As far as the quality of construction, the scale is made really well. It's got some weight to it, which tells me it's not cheaply made. It also has this rubber coating on the outside, so if you should ever drop it, that's going to protect it. I've had no problems with the quality of construction. Like I said, mine went out after 6 or 7 years, which I think was keeping it in a humid environment. So it's probably a good idea if you do live in a humid environment to keep this inside. So to sum it up, this is a scale that works well. It's simple, it does what it's supposed to do, and it's made very well. So it is one that I recommend if you're like me and you really want to know the weight of a bike or how different components affect the weight of your bike, especially if you're more into road or cyclocross or cross country where weight is a little bit more of a factor. So one that I recommend. Thanks for watching.